Hello, this is Sheshachalam from Astrogate Mysore. Today, let us discuss the placement of Saturn in the ninth house, the Dharmasthana, and understand the results of that particular placement. From the ninth house, Saturn aspects the third, the seventh, and the tenth aspects. So, taking this as the ninth house, the third aspect would be 9, 10, 11. So, the 11th house. The seventh aspect would be 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. So third house. And the 10th aspect will be 4, 5, 6, the sixth house. So the Upachaya sthanas are 3, 6, 10 and 11. And what are the Upachaya sthanas? The houses which actually give you gain, growth. Gain in the sense, people should always not go into the fact that gain is always money. No. If you are gaining status, if you are gaining friendship, if you are gaining in business, like growth in business, if you are growing in family, if you are growing in power, if you are growing in, many things can grow. So, growth, responsibility, everything comes into picture, and if you are able to handle it, your Upachaya sthanas should be strong. Here, the funny fact is Saturn, when placed in the third, sixth, and the 11th houses, gives excellent, result for a native. The 11th house has two different perspectives. I will come to it when I talk about Saturn in the 11th house. But anyway, now on the general perspective, we should understand that Saturn is fantastically posited when it is in the third, sixth, and the 11th. So, even its aspect over the third, sixth, and the 11th is good. Usually, it is said that wherever Saturn is posited, it protects that house, and wherever it is aspecting, it checks that house. It doesn't destroy that house, it checks. So wherever it is posited, it will delay. It will not deny. Excuse me. So wherever it is aspecting, it will check that house. Check in the sense that, we put a case on pending, verification pending. So it is suspension pending. Case is pending. So a lot of tension will be there for a person. He doesn't know what's going to happen tomorrow because case is pending because of suspension. So I'm just giving you an example. So when Saturn is aspecting, simply let us take into consideration yesterday when I was telling that Saturn was aspecting the second house. So it checks the second house, that's the family, wealth, food. So it checks from the 8th house. If the 7th house aspect is on second house. So that's a bad aspect. Here, funnily, peculiarly, I know it's not funny, it's peculiar, that Saturn's aspect on the 11th, the 3rd, and the 6th house will refine those houses. Will refine. What is the meaning? The 3rd house is for communication, and Saturn in the 9th house will refine that communication. He will not simply talk something. He will not simply argue with anybody. If he argues, he will be perfect. If he talks, he will be perfect. So, Saturn, well posited in the 9th house of any native, can make him an excellent advocate, very good lawyer. Why? Because it directly checks that house and refines it. The 6th house, house of service, beautiful placement of Saturn in the 9th house can give excellent government employment as a UPSC, like an IAS cadre or a very strong cadre into as a manager. These people can take up very high responsibilities. Not into business. Yes, they are very good businessmen, but into higher governmental offices. So the 11th house anyway is the house of profit. When Saturn is sitting in the 11th house, it is different. That is, the person can make money through different means also, which might not be socially fully accepted. Like, for example, we all know We all know that drinking is bad for health. We all know smoking is bad for health. Everywhere, in every advertisement, in every film, in every movie, even in the theater, they will have put drinking is injurious to health, smoking is injurious to health. Ban all those industries, right? You cannot, because majority of the public drink. Now, then why that thing, that stupid caption that drinking is injurious to health? Or else you do follow it, or else don't do it at all. So the problem here is that we don't want this thing to happen in the society, but still, if there is a liquor shop in the vicinity of the society, we don't think that that business is a wow, great thing to do, white collar job, black collar job, blue collar job, whatever color you call it. But still, that is a job. He is making money from it. He might not drink even a drop from it. Saturn in the 11th house can make that sort of money. But is it good or bad? It is the society to decide. If I tell if it is bad, then go to Goa, go to that Madgaon, where the beach is there. Go to all those streets and see how many, wine shops, wine shop. You have the eatery, you have the non-veg fellows roasting whatever they want to roast. The whole streets are like they are into the mood of party. So now you go and teach them, you know, you should have a sattvic way of life. Very difficult. So it depends on the social mood, what is moral business and what is moral turpitude. So I am not talking about moral turpitude today. I am talking about ethical business, because this is dharmasthana, ninth house, not the 11th house. So I just told you what can happen in the 11th house. It might not be correct or it might not be wrong. In the 11th house, let me now come back to the ninth house. Dharma, higher education, that means higher elevation, higher learning. It might be individualistically, you yourself can learn, or it might be from your father, from your forefathers, from a blessing, from your progeny, so not progeny, sorry, your forefathers, your lineage, you might be blessed. You might be a great grandson of a king. It's a blessing to be born in a royal family. So because you have served people in all that so many ages, and you will get that respect only because you are born in the family, and not because of your own stature. But still, ninth house Saturn, you will have a very, very beautiful, good stature. You will have excellent social status. So the guru, ninth house also means guru, mentor, self-realization, research into spirituality. So ninth house Saturn makes a person philosophical yogi, a person who can do hatha yoga, stubborn with a cause. It's not stubborn uh, with the wrong direction. It's stubbornness. Hatha means stubbornness, adamant, being very strong on whatever belief he has. So if it is a right belief, if it is a good Saturn, right belief. If it is a wrong Saturn, God bless. I'm not talking about a wrong Saturn today at all, because this is a very lengthy discussion. So very strict, yes, follows very good sattvic routine, straightforward, talks what he does and does what he talks. Military kind of approach, and that's why my words are also very strict. I have a Rahu in my ninth house, so you can understand. It's not Saturn, it's Rahu, but it's in the Saturn's house, very strong. So, methodical, very stubborn, very strong and stubborn person. I'm repeatedly telling, they are very, very, as a soldier, very strong in their resolve. So, it aspects the Upachaya sthanas, as I said, this is the only planet which can do from where it is sitting in the ninth house. Out of four Upachaya sthanas, it can aspect three. None of the other planets can do that. It's very difficult for any other planet to do, aspect like that. Okay. except for Mars, which can also aspect two Upachaya sthanas, like the fourth aspect from the eighth, 8, 9, 10, 11, and from the eighth, it can aspect the third house with its eighth aspect. So it can do 11th and 11 and 3 at the same time. But aspecting all the four, three out of the four Saturn. So, a great philosopher, but an excellent businessman and a politician. So, all these three mingled, bundled into one package is what Saturn is in the ninth house. He can be a very good politician, a straightforward politician without any, uh, you know, not as the major politicians' tendency as on date. This is a politician who is strict on value system. So detached from pleasures after a certain age because it is Saturn. So we should think about the age of maturity of Saturn depending on the degree placement from the ascendant in the ninth house. You can calculate the age, calculate those 30 degrees as a particular age and then go ahead. And also you should understand that the age of Saturn depends on the avastha in which it is posited. If it is an even house, the avasthas are five avasthas are mrityu, vruddhapya, yavana, kaumarya, balya. And if odd house, it is the reverse. It is the actually that is the straight one. Balya, kaumarya, yavana, vruddhapya, mrityu. So every 6 degrees, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. I'm a little fast today because this is a huge thing. So 0 to 6, balya, it's in the odd sign. 6 to 12, kaumarya. 12 to 18, yavana. 18 to 24, vruddhapya, that is old age. And mrityu, that is in the dead state between 24 and 30. So in the even sign, it is on reverse. That is 0 to 6, it is mrityu, dead state. Next is vruddhapya, that is 6 to 12, that is old age. Yavana, that is youth, that is young, youth, full high peak activity, that is between 12 and 18 degrees, and 18 to 24, it is kaumarya, adolescence, and then from 24 to 30, it is balya, that is young age, infancy. So, when Saturn is well posited in the ninth house, in a matured, let us say in Vruddhapya, it gives full maturity, and people with the ninth house Saturn will try to act matured before they are actually of that age. So they will start acting matured. So if it is in Balya, their maturity will come late, but they will be very responsible in their life. So this is a good position of Saturn in the ninth house. I am not telling Saturn gives great in the ninth house. It actually makes a person odd man out in the society as on date because he doesn't join any parties. He will stick to the routine. He will stick to his writing, reading. So he is a sober personality. He doesn't, jump, go out and do whatever the normal public is doing. So he may not have that many friends to run around. So he may stoop, limp, or have some deformity because of the physical thing, because there might be some weak bone. So the bone development might not have happened fully, or if it is a weak Saturn, there might be something like a polio, which is now eradicated in most of the countries. But I'm just giving you an example as to what might have gone wrong, or he might be like stooping and walking in a very, different way. But these things have to be very clearly checked before telling something on a chart. Simply do not predict if you can't go into the details. So, if this seventh house is weak in this chart, in any given chart, and the ninth house you have an exalted, strong Saturn, then the second marriage is a very strong possibility. So, we need to check this with a foreigner or an elder person or a widower or a widow with children. So, this particular position of Saturn in the ninth house, if it is strong, there is a chance that this person might not have children from the first marriage, or there might be some delay in having children in the first marriage. I am not telling that all people who have Saturn in the ninth house will go for second marriage. No. Very clearly, I am telling no, it is not a thumb rule to simply tell that, sir, I have, Saturn in Aquarius, ninth house. Will I have second marriage? No, please don't ask these questions. It is not like that. It is, there is a possibility if the seventh house is weak or badly posited, then this will take over. The ninth house will take over. So the options for professional options for these people is military, government offices, strong government offices where they are actually decision makers, lawyers, advocates, judges, counselors, teachers, professors, you name it, all the big ones. So I hope I was able to cover a good lot of matter in this particular class. Thank you very much for today's class.